My name is Jane McCormick, and I have a mission in life to help other women survive difficult times in their lives. My show is about breaking my silence. I wrote a book many years ago about my years as a survivor. I have this week, I'm doing a book review with a new author. Her name is Capra-Leaf, and her book is called Profound Blessings. I'll tell you something, really. Her writing is remarkable because it's about a traumatic, highly personal, tragic event in one's life. We all have to go through these life experiences. But from the opening paragraph until the final word, this is an amazing book of revelations and healing that will hold you mesmerized and more than likely require a few tissues, which, you know, all of us girls will get that tear that comes down, which is also good. Thank you for sharing. I want to thank you for sharing your personal journey and letting those who seek it out know that they are not alone. It's a beautiful read, flawlessly written with honesty about the raw emotions of grief, transition, and ultimately peace. This is a tragic story and a true love story that I could not put down. You will just have to get this book because it is fabulous. And I'd like for you to meet Kathy. Say hi.
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Jane, for having me on your show. I was so excited to come here today
Good.
and share with you.
I'm glad. Tell them where we met.
Well, it was in a bad place. We were at a book signing, actually. We were at the Country Inn in White Bear Lake, and there was a mass White Bear Lake book signing, and we saw each other across the room.
Yep.
You were in red. You had your red hat. I had my red
hat.
shoes. I went, okay, she's my new friend. So,
You see, she has on her book cover the red shoes. See?
Well, the red is a symbolism for me. It's a symbolism through my journey that we're going to talk about of freedom and strength and moving on and reinventing. It started when I was a little girl, loving the red shoes. So it kind of became a really good, interesting symbol in my book. So thus they're on the cover.
Yeah,
it's not exactly your churched up grief book, but it is a grief book. But I don't mean that at all.
No, I know.
Disrespectfully, but
no, I know.
Sort of where I am and who I am. So
no, it's hard to say to yourself, well, this is about. I mean, when you start reading this book, you'll be like, can't put it down because it's like one hurdle after another. She's going through this, and it's like, are you kidding me? I'd put red shoes on this too. Mm-hmm. You'd have to get through it all. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's like one thing after another. This woman is just phenomenal, and this is your life story, basically, what you went through. I mean,
this story is about my life the last 3 years, and actually, kind of, there are times in everybody's life when they get the rug pulled out from under them, as you know, Jane, very well, that this happens in your life when you feel you're most vulnerable.
Yep.
When you feel like, holy cow, how am I going to put my feet on the floor today? And so through all that, I don't know why, but I started to write, and I had never written before. Anything. And I had never written before, and I thought, oh, maybe if I just write this down, it'll help me figure it out. And through that process, I had these amazing life events going. Well, there's a reason for this. And when I was all through and done with it, it was like, I really need to share my story. I really wanted to. I really wanted other people to feel like if they could learn anything through what I went through,
it would
be
helpful.
So awesome.
That'll help them.
And not only through grief. I mean, this is definitely a story about grief, and my personal story was a story of grief, and not only that, but reinvention of myself. But, there's people who are going through abuse or divorce or mental illness or all sorts of things that I think,
so many things that people have to go through.
It's true.
You got to make yourself strong to get through it.
And you don't know how to do that.
No.
Sometimes
there's no book, no lessons
there
to teach
aren't.
us.
And the most amazing, great thing that has happened to me that I didn't realize, because I really did think it was a grief book about grief. But people have been responding with, I just went through a bad divorce, and your book's really, changed my life and how I feel about things. And, so I just sit on my couch and get overwhelmed, and I went, this is really a wonderful just a wonderful journey for me to
Yeah,
be able to
see?
do that.
See,
So
you did that.
I
And
did
didn't even
that.
realize you were
I
doing
know.
that.
I don't know.
Well,
I
you
don't know
probably
why.
did it. You didn't realize that's what response you were going to
But
get.
it was great. It was really. It has been just such a wonderful experience, and I just love all my readers and all of the people that I've met through this whole process.
Isn't that the neatest
Yeah,
part?
it is.
You were married for how many years?
30 years.
30 years.
I was married to a man named Michael Leaf, and we were both lifelong residents of White Bear Lake, and in the community, raised 3 children, and life was good for a long time.
Yeah. And then he got ill.
He got very ill, and we didn't know what was wrong or how ill he was for a very long time. And that whole journey lasted. The big question mark as to what was killing him was only answered about 2 weeks before he died. So it was just crazy.
What was it? Was it cancer?
It was a cancer.
And did they not know it for a long time?
Yeah, basically, and our doctors were wonderful, and the whole story. I kind of sort of think, oh my gosh, if I sat and told everybody, what exactly was wrong with him, they would be, sleeping in 5 seconds because, you have to be a doctor to understand
No,
it.
that's not true.
But
because a lot of people are out there suffering with their loved ones ill.
Right.
In the hospital, millions of people.
Well, and one of the things I write about in the story is, people waiting in the waiting room.
Yep.
The waiting room full of waiting is what I call it,
That's what
because
it is.
and it's especially in a hospice waiting room or something where there's
Oh, yeah,
it's a crazy place, and the things that you do to get you through your day. My children started doing puzzles.
Yeah.
They puzzled everything. Everything was a puzzle.
Well, they had to get their mind. You got to get your mind on something else besides what you're
Right.
thinking about every
Right.
second of the day is him. You got to
Yeah.
you got to free up your brain a little bit because that's a hard steps to go through.
Well, and again, the most
Grief is
important
hard.
grief is, and there's all sorts of grief, and the most important thing is if what I wanted to do, and I had like several amazing. I know the word amazing is so overused in our society, but
Life's amazing.
really
honey.
overwhelming. Yeah, it is. It is.
It is.
Really great and wonderful things happened, and I thought through all the crap that happened,
Yeah.
it was
that's
like
okay. Well, you say crap.
really great. Can we say crap?
Yeah, great crap in here.
Okay, crappy things that
Yeah.
happened. All of these amazing stories of what people did for us, or people that I met, or moments that happened that really helped me and moved me and made me put my feet on the floor every day. And I knew early on, as I started writing, because all of a sudden I started writing this book, and I had not written anything, and it was just like pouring out of me, and I knew it was important.
You had to do that.
I knew
You
it
had
was
to get
important,
through
and I
it.
really
You couldn't have
needed
got
to.
through it unless you wrote it down on paper.
I don't
You'd
think
have
that
probably
I could.
flipped.
Yeah. So
I mean,
I'm
and
just
then you were
excited
sick
about it.
too.
I was sick.
Yeah.
I'm also a cancer survivor.
Yeah.
And yay, I know, about 7 years now. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
And our family had gone through a lot of tragedy in the last 10 years.
It's
But
unbelievable.
we're okay. Everybody.
Well, now you're
everybody
okay.
survived.
Yeah,
and
everybody
it's like
survived.
putting your feet on the floor every day is an important goal every day. And I know
And
that
those
sounds
red
dramatic.
shoes.
I know.
Let me see those red
All right,
shoes.
because
Let's
you ready?
Let's see these
She's
red
making you
shoes.
put the red
Put
shoes
that
up.
shoe up there.
Ta-da!
Yay!
Yay!
Yay! She's dancing in the red shoes. That's
Well-
what a survivor. That's how survivors
Yes.
survive. By putting the red shoes on.
Yes,
Isn't
and
that cute?
when I was,
I love
we were talking earlier about them, and it was a very interesting thing because when I was little, I always wanted red shoes, and my mom finally bought them for me,
Did
and they were
she?
sparkly and they had straps, and I was like 5.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, oh my God, these are the most, and I would look at them, and I just
Yeah.
like stare at my reflection, and my
Yeah.
brothers would. I have brothers, and we're going, oh God, what's wrong with you? So, I just felt like such a
I got my
princess.
red shoes.
I know, and I remembered that for my whole life.
That is so cute.
And then after everything was happening,
Yeah.
I had a dream about red shoes.
Oh my God,
when-
it came to you. That's why
Yeah,
you're. That's
after
why
he
you're
died. After
Isn't
he
that
died, it
something?
was something about red shoes. I was wearing red shoes, and I used to dance. And do these things. I thought, I'm going to go buy myself a pair of grown-up version of the red shoes because they are kind of like they were kind of like just a symbol of
Make you happy.
I'm here. I
And
made it. I survived.
And I'm gonna dance.
I'm finding my bravery every day.
Yep.
I'm seeing my rainbow, and I'm gonna find my dance floor.
That's right. That's right.
And the last line of my book is, there's always a dance floor when you're ready to dance. And what I mean by that is, when you're ready, the world is ready for you. You just got to get through it, and you have to. And it's different for everybody, but for me, it's being able to get out on my dance floor and dance through my life again.